Now, here are some of the leading U.S. companies in humanoid robotics. So in addition to Tesla, these companies are actively contributing to the humanoid robotics landscape. First, you have NVIDIA. They provide AI chips and computing platforms essential for robot intelligence. You also have Alphabet, Google, through its subsidiary Intrinsic, focuses on industrial robotics and AI integration. Of course, there's also Microsoft. They develop cloud-based AI systems and robotic platforms. Amazon already invests heavily in warehouse automation and robotics through its Amazon Robotics unit. Meta Platforms, Facebook, explores artificial intelligence and virtual reality applications that could intersect with robotics. Now, while specific market share projections for all of these companies are not yet well defined for the humanoid robotics sector, their technological capabilities and investments position them as key contributors to the sector's growth. So, what are the individual sectors at play under the broad humanoid robotics moniker? Well, you have infrastructure, data centers and such, artificial intelligence engines like ChatGPT and Grok. You have general robotics, which are already being used heavily in industrial manufacturing, humanoid robotics, which is the subject of this. And then you have graphical processing and CPU units, as well as other component parts. So here's a list of 15 publicly traded U.S. companies that are involved in robotics, in AI systems, AI chips, component manufacturing, and data center operations. Some are involved in more than one sector. Now, I've ranked the list based on expected performance, considering growth potential in artificial intelligence, robotics, chip production, and data infrastructure. Now, these are speculative forecasts influenced by current market positioning, innovation velocity, a competitive moat, and alignment with macro artificial intelligence trends. We take a deeper look at each company in a moment, along with a 2-year stock performance history chart for each. But ranked in terms of expected performance is first NVIDIA, then Microsoft Corporation, then Amazon, and then Alphabet, the Google parent. Meta Platforms, which is Facebook and I guess Instagram and a few other things. AMD, or Advanced Micro Devices, the chip manufacturer. CoreWeave, who is heavily invested in infrastructure build-out. Of course, Tesla, we all know them. A company called Serve Robotics, which is in the small delivery robot business. IBM Corporation, the huge company we all know. Intel Corporation, Qualcomm, and a couple of new companies we don't know, or most of us don't know. Teradyne, Arb Robotics, and Rich Tech Robotics. Now, a few notes on some of these newer companies. CoreWeave is involved in cloud computing. It's a company that specializes in AI infrastructure. It recently reported a 420% year-over-year revenue growth for Q1 of 2025, reaching an almost $1 billion in revenue. The company provides access to high-performance NVIDIA chips and data centers that are essential for developing generative AI technologies. Serve Robotics is a company that's focused on developing autonomous delivery robots. They literally build boxes on wheels that deliver food and other things by rolling down the sidewalk. You now have to ask the question, why not buy a humanoid robot to carry the food to the delivery destination? Why use a box on wheels? I am skeptical about Serve's long-term viability unless they modify their mission. Rich Tech Robotics engages in the development of service robots for various industries. These are specialized things like burger flippers and bartender robots and assembly line robots. Arb Technologies, ARBE, specializes in 4D imaging radar technology for autonomous vehicles and robots. And then, of course, Teradyne provides automation equipment for test and industrial applications, including robotics. Teradyne is a well-rounded company with lots of upside potential as a supplier to the industry. Now, let's look at each of the 15 publicly traded stocks a little closer. We'll start with NVIDIA. But before I go any farther, let me say that for each of the following companies, I'm going to show you the current stock price, the 52-week high price, the current price as a percentage of the 52-week high, the all-time high stock price, and the current price as a percentage of the all-time, just to give you some perspective as to where we are relative to potential future growth and potential resistance levels for growth in that stock's performance. Before I go any farther, let me also say that you need to be sure to reference current pricing and market research and recommendations before you make any investment. And as I think I said before, I'm not making any recommendations as to how you should invest your money. I'm not a registered stockbroker or analyst, and the information that I present in this video is solely for long-term strategic consideration. Please consult your professional advisors before making any investments. Okay, now NVIDIA's current price is about $135. Their 52-week high is 153.13. As a percentage of the 52-week high, the current price is about 88%. Their all-time high of 149.42 means that their current price is about 90% of their all-time high. Now, NVIDIA is involved in manufacturing AI chips, providing AI systems, and supplying data centers and providing them. The reason for ranking them number one is that NVIDIA is dominant in AI chip supply, which is foundational to generative AI and language learning model infrastructure. Demand for their advanced chips is still accelerating with little effective competition at a comparable level of performance. Their competitive edge is they have a strong monopoly in the graphical processing unit, their CUDA ecosystem lock-in, expanding inference data center markets. Their risk is that their valuation is already strong and their leadership position justifies that. Now let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft is involved in AI systems and data centers. The reason for being ranked number two is their strategic OpenAI partnership, their Azure growth, which is their hosting, and dominance in enterprise cloud and artificial intelligence applications for Copilot, Office, and Teams. Their competitive edge is that they convert artificial intelligence innovation into enterprise software as a service revenue. The risk is related to regulatory overhang and mature market status that might prevent hypergrowth. Now, number three, Amazon. Amazon is involved in AI systems and data centers. The reason that I rank them as number three is because of their Amazon Web Services. That remains a backbone for artificial intelligence startups and enterprise artificial intelligence workloads. They also have custom chips in their Inferentia and Trainium that improves their competitive moat. From a competitive edge perspective, they have a deep stack from e-commerce data to logistics and their Amazon Web Services AI infrastructure. In terms of risk, they have heavy investment cycles and retail drag that can suppress short-term margins. Number four is Alphabet, Google. They're involved in AI systems, data centers, and the reason I have them ranked as number four is because of their internal AI capabilities. They have DeepMind and Gemini, Google Cloud expansion, and they're dominant in data indexing. Their competitive edge is their proprietary models and their massive search data pipeline for reinforcement and learning. From a risk perspective, ad revenue is still dominant, but AI monetization is slower than their rivals. Meta Platforms, the Facebook parent, is involved in AI systems, data centers. The reason for ranking them number five is their ambitious open source Llama models, their metaverse that bets on AI, and heavy infrastructure investment. Their competitive edges are their scale, the rich data, and the content monetization that they have. Metaverse risk is that they have a cash sink issue and they have regulatory concerns. Number six, AMD, is involved in AI chips and component parts. The reason for ranking number six is they're gaining share in AI accelerators, their MI300X chip. Their underdog momentum against NVIDIA also allows them to have a massive upside. From a competitive perspective, their competitive pricing and integration into cloud providers gives them an edge. They still have several steps behind NVIDIA in terms of their AI integration in their chips. Number 7, CoreWeave. They're involved in data centers and AI infrastructure build-out. The reason for being ranked at number 7 is rapid growth in the AI dedicated data centers that they have and their tight alignment with NVIDIA chips. Their competitive edge is they're positioned as a specialized AI cloud provider with record revenue growth. From a risk perspective, there's limited differentiation and they're dependent on NVIDIA's ecosystem. Okay, that concludes Part B. Thank you for watching. Be sure to come back for Part C.